Hello everyone, my name is Kunal Chan Mehta and a very warm welcome to you to FSB's Leadership Series. Today I have the great and grand pleasure of introducing a personal friend of mine, none other than Jemelin Artigas. If we could all put our hands together and join me in welcoming her. Thank you so much. Thank you. So a very warm welcome to you, Jemelin. You have captured the hearts of the nation through your appearance, The Apprentice. And we really want to say to you that throughout the entire series, you were the person that everyone spoke about the most. Not because you're a personal friend of mine. I don't think many people in the audience have known that until today. But the reason is because you came across, in our view, as the most loveliest person that's ever appeared on the show.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So you have 23,000 followers on your Instagram, and you have been doing an amazing job in the health and beauty sector. And we're going to touch on some of those points. But what I really want to focus on first is your role on The Apprentice. And we just want to, for the students that are here, many of our students are studying business, it would be really nice for them to know what made you actually apply to The Apprentice in the first place.
What made me apply for The Apprentice? So I am 35 years old, young I say. I never had the pleasure to go to university, to go to college. I came here at 16 years old and I was a baby and I never had anyone here. I couldn't go to university because I had to support myself. I had to feed myself. I had to feed my family back at home. And I just wanted to inspire those that don't have that path in their life. You know, our generation where, we got a lot of immigrants in this country that don't have the money to go to university. My Latino community, they all have the same thoughts of coming here and doing one thing and one thing only. And I just wanted to show that, no matter where you come from, you can become anything you want, even be on such an amazing show like The Apprentice, business show.
Did anyone help you with applying or inspire you?
Yes, of course. Obviously you, being part of the academic world, which I've never been part of. I've never been part of the academic world. I've never been part of the corporate world. I never had any experience in this. So when I applied for The Apprentice and I had my business idea and I went through and they said, yeah, you're on it, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I've never had a corporate job. I don't know how this works. I never had an office job. I never done a business plan. And obviously you was the first person that came to mind. One, because I trusted you and it has to be somebody that you trust.
This year. Okay, well, you got a lot planned for later this year. I understand you're also writing a book, Jemelin, as well. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your forthcoming book?
My book is for people like us, there is a lot of business talks out there and they tell you, oh, how I came from this to this. But nobody tells you what the steps were to be from this to this. And my book will tell a little bit about my story, a little bit about who I am. And I was homeless once in this country. I didn't speak English. I had nothing. I used to eat from the back of restaurants. And how did I come from that person that didn't speak English to 18 years forward? I speak 4 languages now. I speak Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and English. I obviously run my business. I become an entrepreneur. So it's just sort of like the steps that I did that could inspire some other people.
Jemelin, I want to say to you that many of our students here have set up their own business. What advice would you give them who are newly launching their businesses?
I think the biggest advice I can give you guys is that be patient. Very, very, very patient. Because I think a lot of people have this idea where I'm going to open a business and I'm going to get all these customers and it's going to be amazing. No, it's not. It's going to be hard and it's going to be tough. And some days you're going to think to yourself, why am I doing this? And that patience is going to keep you up. The second thing I'm going to say is your vision. Why are you doing that business? And that's very, very important. A lot of people open up a business and they just think, okay, in 2 years or in 1 year. No, you got to think 5, 10, 15 years ahead. And you need to have that vision very, very embedded in yourself because that's what's going to push you forward on the bad days. Your vision, your why. And the third thing I will say is that you have to be passionate about that business. You need to love that business as much as you love your kids, if you have any, or your girlfriend, or your dog, or whatever you love the most. You have to love it, because chasing a paycheck, chasing the money, it's not what's going to make you happy. And I always say that. If you can turn a hobby into your business, then that's brilliant. Because anything can become a business. If you work hard enough, anything can become a business. But you need to absolutely be obsessed about that business.
I now want to move on to your acting career, which I find absolutely fascinating. You were hand-selected by a gentleman called David Ayer.
I was handpicked to be Michael Peña's wife for the Fury film. A lot of the staff didn't make it to the movie, unfortunately. But I got to really work really closely with David Ayer and Michael Peña and Brad Pitt. He was like, I remember I turned up in the studio and it was Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, all of the main. They were shooting the main cover for the magazine, so for the film, and they had like a massive tank, like a war tank. And Michael Peña comes and he's like, "Hi, nice to meet you. You're my wife." And I'm like, "Yeah, hi, husband." And he's like, "Do you want to come and meet Brad Pitt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, got some time. Let's go." So yeah, so it was a surreal experience again, like coming from someone that didn't even speak English. So
how do you deal with, we've been having some slight of internet issues like the trolls concerning the death of a celebrant. As a celebrant, how do you think we can deal with these issues?
We just had actually somebody died very recently from a TV show, and I had the privilege not to suffer so much from it. And there is two ways we can tackle this, and I think this is the best two ways we can tackle. We're never gonna have a world without the evil, because it's not gonna exist, right? That's just not going to happen. So what we need to do is that we need to empower ourselves, and we need to empower our self-love and our mind to be able to deal with these issues, to be able to deal with you know, all the nasty comments. And you're gonna encounter this in your life from your family sometimes, you know, from your friends, from people that was gonna tell you, you're not good at this or you're not good at that. Some people might say it nicer, some people might not say as nice. But I always stand up to it. I always stand up to it. A lot of people have this way of, oh, you gotta ignore it. No, don't ignore it. You gotta stand up to it, but you gotta get yourself strong. You gotta get your mindset strong, and you gotta know your self-worth. And that way, anybody will say anything, and it can't touch you really, because it speaks about them, not about you.
My name is Joseph. I'm one of the lecturers here, and you seem to touch my heart so much. Because of your background, how you came across with not speaking a single language, and on top of that, moved on to speak about 3 or 4 different languages, I will say to you, benvenuti. Thank you. Benvenuti to FSB. Gracias and obrigado. There's one question that also touches me a lot. Before I came to this session, I was thinking of women empowerment. And unfortunately, you just gave me the answer. What else can you do to empower our lovely students here, especially the women? Because I could see that there is something that you have, not speaking any language, coming in with nothing, with no education, you've made it to a certain level. Is there any confident structure that you can put into them to also make them get to a certain level?
When I was a cleaner, you know, a lot of people said to me, and when I say a cleaner, I clean toilets, okay? Because I was in a restaurant and I had the most horrible manager ever. And the restaurant, the toilet was downstairs. I've always been very talkative. And I said, okay, I need to talk to the guests. You know, they came to the restaurants because I need to speak English. And the toilet was downstairs. So she used to say, Jemelin, go downstairs. And I'd be like, oh, but I really want to, don't talk to the customers. She used to tell me not to talk to the customers. I'd never listen. I used to talk to the customers when she was in there. Then, you know, she would send me I clean the toilets beautifully. To the point that, you know, I think she used to grab dirt outside and just put that so I can go back down. And then I was like, okay, I need to become a waitress in order for me to, you know, be able to interact with them.
My name is Fatma Ame, president for FSB students, and my question is, which business leadership have inspired you the most? Which business leaders?
Oh, business leaders. Yes. This is a quite difficult one. I think I always followed Claude, and I know it's gonna sound like, you know, I got his books, and I feel like his story is very inspirational, everything that he's done up to now. Tony Robbins, it's one of my biggest inspiration, because I think anybody that comes from nothing, you know, anybody that can make themselves, because it is easy for someone, it isn't easy, but it's a little bit easier for someone that has, you know, that kickstart in life where they can go to a good university, where they have a good family, and I don't judge them at all. I think that's absolutely amazing, and you know, if that's what they've done, it's still hard work. You still have to bring up yourself, but I feel people that come from nothing like those, then for me are something that are quite inspirational.
Jemelin, would you say that you have reached the pinnacle of your career? And if so, what's next for you?
Oh no, I haven't even got started yet. All of that was like my, you know, practice run. Pre-warm-up. Okay. No, I think it's all evolving. I'm enjoying the journey. Obviously, I got a platform now where I can share the love and share everything that I believe in, make people believe they're unbelievable. And yeah, I'm only getting started in terms of everything, I think. Now it's, you know, now it's time to get it even bigger. And the next thing, I really, really, really want to become a motivational speaker. And I think through my book, and I think I've got some sort of ability of connecting with a lot of people in this country, mainly because it's such a multicultural country. And I just want to connect with the crowd that feels connected to me, because I'm sure many of you came to this country just like me, and you still, you know, find lots of struggles and find lots of things that you can get help with. So that will be my niche, I think, not just to the masses, but to the people that have come from where I come from.
Excellent.
The thing I hope you've taken from today, apart from everything else, is how important communication is. So thank you, Jemelin, for coming to us. And every success, as I'm sure you will have, and I'm sure you've inspired an awful lot of people to do even better. Thank you.